Trailblazers. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I was playing around with the idea of just like identifying in a different way. And what most of you like, instead of being like, hey, Trailblazers, which I do love. But okay, I'm going to get a little tangential here. Stay with me for a second. I was watching Call Me Alex, and I was just like playing. I was like, that's really cool, right? She calls them the Daddy Group, which is weird, but whatever. People love it. People love it. Or the Daddy Gang. That's what she calls it. So she is a powerhouse of a woman. Absolutely amazing. Started this podcast. She was a soccer player in college. If you haven't watched it, definitely recommend. It's really interesting to watch behind the scenes and just like her journey as this woman who was finding her voice, who was speaking out against the crowd, and really just living so authentically and doing the like audacious, like really loud ways of just like fighting against the norm, right? So, anyways, I digress. I told you we're going to go a little tangential. And she started calling people or her followers, the people who were tuning into her podcast and everything like that, the Daddy Gang. And I was like, you know what, that's really cool. I think Trailblazers is enough, but I don't know. So, right, you're in my process of working through, like, what does this look like, right? Because what I do know, because what Daddy Gang did, we create some like solidarity, right? We are a community here at Women on the Rise. We are a community of trailblazers who lift each other up, who inspire each other, who do the courageous things, who put themselves out there, who create programs, who create impact. This is who we are, Women on the Rise. Put a yes in the comments if that resonates with you. Otherwise, you probably would not be here, and Women on the Rise would not have called to you. So that's what we're doing here. So anyways, I put a poll, all this to say, I put a poll in the group if you guys want to check it out and just add in your vote to see, like, maybe Trailblazers is just fine for you. But it's just, like, we're always growing, we're expanding, we're exploring. Exploration is part of the process when we are on our path to our most authentic self and life purpose and living our legacy. It's actually a step. The problem with the exploration stage is that many of us stay in the exploration stage and never really come fully into our legacy and our life purpose. And that's why we're talking about the 3 R's today, right? We're talking about the 3 R's to reclaim your power, to reclaim your voice, right? To identify your voice. But that is what we do here. So we're not going to get stuck in the research phase or in the exploration phase. We move forward. But right now, love for you to check it on the poll. Tune in, like, put your vote in. And again, in the comments, if you can comment, just be like, Trailblazers is fine. Don't fuck with it. Which I too. So yeah, check that out. A couple of housekeeping things. We also have, Pilar and I have some things cooking, and we're super excited, in the oven of ideas and possibilities for all of you, of different programs and different subscriptions that might speak to you. So if you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear them. Anything that you love to listen to or to watch, or something that inspires you. We were thinking about just different ways that we can engage with you and support you along your journey to living in your legacy, living your life out loud, your most authentic self. So anyways, with that too, the last housekeeping thing, just so you know, we have pivoted. I love pivots. I love plot twists. Sometimes they create a little stress in the, when you're in the midst of it. But we do have the Radiant Heart Day Retreat that has been moved. It is no longer in Georgia as originally planned. We're shifting that date into the into September, and it might actually be a longer retreat, which I'm super super excited about. And I am still having the Radiant Heart Day Retreat here in New York. So it is going to be on Rushford Lake at a cottage on the lake, and we're going to have so much fun. So be sure to check out the updates and the Radiant Heart retreat, and then we will, yeah, I would love to see you. I would love for you to join. I'd love to see you there. Okay, now what you came here to see, to hear, to experience is really about, we do these free trainings, right? We do these free trainings every single Thursday, unless there is like a special event going on, a workshop going on that we have. But yeah, every Thursday at 12 p.m. we are here. We would love to know any topics that I might be missing that could help you along your journey. You can reach out to myself or Pilar, the wonderful, beautiful Pilar, who is my right-hand woman and trailblazer along with us. So you can reach out to either of us and say, hey, I was really wondering about, excuse me, this. Clearing out that throat chakra. What's going on here? All right, all the process coming to. All right, so reach out to us. Let us know if there's any specific topic that you're looking for, whether it's about building your holistic business or creating content or marketing, because I am a holistic business coach as well. And like others are just like, how am I getting in my own way? Or, what are those limiting beliefs, which we're going to be talking about today. So we are getting into the 3 R's to reclaim your power. Put a fire emoji or hell yes or something in the comments so that we know that you're here, whether you're watching it on replay or you're watching it right now. We're really going to be this is about coming back to you, like reclaiming that power. We have for far too long, that we would like to admit, have given our power over to anybody and everybody else. We are hoeing out our power, and that is not okay. Right? We are not giving it away anymore. We are not just like willy-nilly handing it all over. And the way that we are reclaiming that is like, first of all, we have to recognize, we have to release it, and then we have to rewrite the patterns that are holding us back. And what I mean by hoeing out our power is that like we are constantly looking externally for validation, whether it's in likes or the amount of subscribers we have, or the amount of accolades we get, or the raises that we get, or the compliments that we get from other people. That's what I mean by hoeing our power out. We are not speaking up in the boardrooms. We are more and more, which I'm so celebrating. And then I hear this like really sad, right, story and experience of people who are still being really conditioned, and like what came to my mind, which seems it might seem a little like dramatic, but like being abused, being bullied, right? Like we have been bullied into a corner, thinking that we do not have power. But why that has happened is because we do have a shit ton of power, okay? We are highly powerful. I mean, read all of the fucking articles out there about how our strength as women, physically strength, like the strength that we can hold in like the amount of pain that we can experience. That's why we birth babies. Like, come on now, right? Like that's just on the physical aspect. Think about all of the emotional power that we have too, to influence a room, to that's the energetic, but like the emotional capability of holding so much space for ourselves and all of the shit that we have taken and bounced back from. Like we are so resilient. We are resilient AF, okay? So put that in the comments, right? Like if you want to claim that, like I am resilient AF, like you are so resilient. So anyways, we are reclaiming it. We are bringing it back, okay? So, let's take a moment. I feel like I came in on fire. So let's just take a moment to ground in together, because there's fire within the feminine, within our power. There's fire, but there's also softness, right? It can be a wildfire, but we can also have it flicker like a beautiful flame or a campfire, right? Like it's just like crackling. So let's just ground for a moment. Let's get soft together, right? Closing your eyes if it feels safe to do so. Taking a few deep breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just let yourself settle. Let yourself land. Okay? What we're talking about here is that the space is not about fixing something that's broken. You are not broken. We are not broken. We've been told that we're broken. We are not. This is about coming home to what's real. This is all about the truth that's been there underneath all of the noise. That's the other people's comments, the beliefs of other people, the bullying of other people. That's what's underneath. That's the noise, right? So here's the thing. If you've been circling the same patterns, and what I mean by that, right? We have different patterns. We're going to go into them. Everything, the first thing that we have to do is about awareness. It's self-actualization, it's self-awareness, right? So some of the patterns, and again, we'll get into the main three that I see as a women's empowerment expert, coach, psychotherapist for 20 years, right? So some of the patterns of overthinking, of holding back, stuck in the almost but not quite, right? That is where some of those patterns lie, right? And you're not alone in that. You are not alone. I want you to hear that. You are not alone in holding on to patterns that keep us from expansion, right? So, hearing that, it is not a flaw. This is a pattern. And guess what? When we look at the patterns, patterns can be rewritten. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 3 different ways to do this. And it's about recognizing, it's about releasing, and it's about rewriting. So, who's in with me? Who's ready to hear the 3, right? How we actually move through these 3: recognition, releasing, and rewriting. Put a yes in the comments, put I'm here for it, whatever it is, right? Keep that energy close to you. Keep it going, keep it flowing, stay engaged, all right? So first, we are going into the recognition. We have to be aware in order to be empowered to either keep it or change it. Okay. So the recognition, I want to identify the three main patterns that I see. Okay. Let this land a little bit. What about perfectionism? Let's talk about perfectionism. Right? And that perfectionism can be like, let me just tweak this just a little bit more trap that I know I can totally get into if I don't catch it quick enough, right? And I do. I fall into it. I'm like, oh, is this really? And I start second guessing and like making sure it's all polished, right? So being able to, I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine standing in front of a beautiful door. This beautiful door, right? Like you might even want to close your eyes and envision it, right? You're standing in front of this door, whatever it looks like, whatever color it is, right? I don't know, for some reason mine is like one of those like little gnome doors. little hobbit doors. But it is just like this beautiful emerald green, and it has all these vines and flowers along it, and this beautiful I'm very visual, you guys. I have a big imagination. What about you guys? Do you have a big imagination? Put a yes in the comments. Visionaries typically do. Trailblazers typically do. So you see this beautiful door, and the doorknob is this like beautiful gold, right? Or whatever it is to you. That's what mine is, right? And you notice And what you know to be true, that on the other side of this door, on the other side is like your dream life, right? It leads directly to your dream life. All of your big visions, all of those dreams that you have, right? If you've ever caught yourself daydreaming of like, one day I will, blah, 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 blah. One day when I'm ready, when everything is perfectly aligned, and we'll talk about that in a minute too, I'm going to, write my book. I'm going to start my program. I'm going to heal other women or be, have the healing, a healing modality, whatever it is, right? One day. So that one day is on the other side of this gorgeous door. And then when you look down to go open the door, you're like, oh my gosh, it's a little dusty. So you start polishing it, right? You're like, oh, let me just clean that up a little bit. And then you notice a smudge, so you like polish a little more. And you gotta like maybe like reach for it. And then you're like, you know what? The handle can actually be a little shinier. And then you wonder if maybe then by chance, like maybe the door should be a little bit of a different color, right? So weeks pass and you're just standing at the door and the door remains completely unopened. But you've changed everything about the door. Right? So having that visual is like perfectionism. Perfectionism is like endlessly polishing the door to your next level instead of simply turning the handle and walking through it. Okay? So, like I said, I am so guilty of this. I'm like, oh, let me just do this and that. And then I'm like, oh, it's too late. The time has passed. I lost it. Forget it. Right? So being able to recognize that, right, is I delayed like one thing. Oh my gosh, I can give you a perfect example of perfectionism. It's actually fear masked as perfectionism. Where before starting my program, I researched everything. Okay. I researched everything. I'm like, it's not quite right. I don't have all the elements. I had sheets and sheets. You know, those huge Post-it notes, sheets all over. I love researching. I love it. I was like, oh, and this is connected to this. And I had all my books spread out. And oh my gosh, it was a masterpiece in my mind and a mess in my husband's. And then it sat there. And it sat there. And it sat there. And it sat there. This is a dream. Okay, so 5 years ago, I launched my business. More than 5 years ago now. But like I've had this dream for years, like way more, like a decade before that. A decade, let's just call it that. A decade. I sat right at that fucking door. I was like, maybe it's not, right? So that's my example. Your dream doesn't need a perfect entry. It needs your courage to actually open and walk through. That's the tipping point from dreaming and creating and actually living in it, okay? So, if you resonate with that, right? Put a yes in the comments. What door are you endlessly polishing right now? Put it in the comments. Is it the course that you want to create? Is it the book that you want to write? Is it the business that you want to start? Is it the nonprofit that you want to start, right? These are the women who are in the Women on the Rise group. These are the visionaries. So what door are you endlessly polishing right now? Put it in the comments. There's no shame in this game. There's awareness, which leads to empowerment, which leads to action. Okay? Second is procrastination, right? This is the second trap that we fall into, right? We're still in this awareness phase, procrastination. There are those sacred delays of just like, this just isn't the right time. Okay? This just isn't the right time. So I have said that over and over. I can give you my book, for example. This isn't the right time. I don't have enough time to give the focus to my book, right? So I can get into an example, right? I can right off the top of my head, procrastination. This is sort of like waiting for all of the lights to turn green, okay? So just imagine you sitting in your car, or maybe it's a friend. I don't know. Maybe you're not ready to be sitting in the driver's seat. Right? So just imagine a woman sitting in her car, right? She puts on the GPS, she puts on the direction. She's like, dream destination. Boop, 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 boop. She puts that in and she's like, okay. And she sees it all mapped out, and then she sees it, and then she hits like go, and then she just stands there. And she's like, you know what? I'd probably get there faster if I just wait for every single traffic light to turn green. Every single one just to turn green, right? And then I'll go. Then I'll go. That's what we do. I'm going to wait for it to be the right time, for me to feel right, to be in the right space, to have enough training, to have the right words, to be in a place where I could just go to the coffee shop instead of sitting in my house, or like have my own office. There's always something. And that's what we get into this idea that like there is this, like, when this happens then this will happen. No, actually everything happens before that perfect moment that you're waiting for. But this is procrastination. Okay? Procrastination wears the costume of patience or strategy, when really it is fear waiting for uncertainty, for that certainty that does not exist. It does not exist. All right? It's the, oh my gosh, like I'm telling you, like with my book, I had so much, like when I look at that, I'm just like, I had so much fear that was hidden by the, I don't have enough time. I'm not, I can't get to, I have to be like focus on my business. I don't have the right storyline or like whatever, or, when my kids, or when I talk to my family, because there's stuff that involves my family, right? It's always about something else. I was scared shitless about writing my book. I am in the thick of it, of just like creating it and marketing it to a publisher. So being able to call it, being able to identify it. So where are you waiting for all the green lights to line up? Where are you waiting for everything to just align and be exactly perfect the way that you need it? What is it that you're waiting, right? And for my example, it was the book. So put it in the comments. Again, it's so important, right? It's so important to recognize that we're holding on to this procrastination, which is fear. Waiting for the right moment to leave a job, to launch a new offer, to speak your truth. And that clarity, actually, the truth is it comes after taking the first step, not before, after, right? And then the third one I want us to be aware of, the third pattern, the third loop, right? Some people call it patterns, some people call it loops. I love loops, right? Because we do. It's like this just loop that we get stuck in. It makes me think about just like the Gravitron. I don't know if anybody has ever written on the Gravitron. I used to love it as a kid. It makes me so sick right now. I'm just thinking about it, but it's like, it's just like, oh, fun and exciting, and you're like, oh, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, like I can't get out of it. I gotta get out of here. Anyway, that's what just came to my mind. All right, so the third pattern is people pleasing. People pleasing. The third pattern that holds us back, the majority of women, is people pleasing, hiding or reshaping our truth to keep others really comfortable. All right. And I wish I used to have, but a mask. Okay. So here's the thing, is that we shape shift. I remember on TikTok, there was this like trend where it was like, the men hate when we can shape shift. And it was like showing all the makeup and stuff. Of how we whatever shapeshift. But I think about it as far as like our soul, like who we are authentically, we shapeshift that in order to keep others comfortable. All right, so I want you to just imagine wearing this mask, right? This woman. Imagine that you are invited to a beautiful masquerade ball, right? It's like so cool. Maybe it's a gala, right? Whatever it is, whatever suits your fancy. So being able to just imagine yourself, this masquerade ball, you put on this beautiful mask, right? And everybody's like, oh my gosh, it might be whatever color. For some reason, mine showed up as like a ruby red mask. That's just like, everybody's like, oh my God, that is gorgeous. Where did you get that? Oh, and they're like so enamored by you, right? And this mask, and you're like, oh, this is wonderful. People accept me, they love me, they listen to me, right? So it feels so exciting in the beginning at first, right? She's praised, she's admired, you're admired. But then as the night goes on, you feel the weight of the mask, right? It starts getting tighter and tighter and tighter until she cannot breathe, until she forgets what her real face looks like. That's what happens when we put on all of our masks every single day, when we are hiding our truth so that others can be more comfortable. Okay? I have edited my truth, and that in corporate so many times. I felt so angry that I couldn't speak up, that I couldn't speak up. Do you see how I hoed my power out? I can't speak up. Let me give that power to you, doctor, or pilot, or attorney, or whoever I worked with, right? It was often doctors, the CEOs, stuff like that. You know, sometimes my bosses, many times doctors, because guess what? I did not align with the Western medicine form of treatment. A lot of it I didn't align with, right? So I was the good little girl. I put on my good little girl mask. I would once in a while speak out, and then I would get the backlash, or I would get the funny look, or I would get the that's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard. Truly, I've heard it. And it was by another woman. It wasn't by another man. That was a different kind of shame, right? Again, handing my power over. So being able to, then I would just be quiet. I would be like, fine, but like internally, just like suffocating, feeling like I couldn't breathe, that there were pieces of me just falling away. And I was so depressed, right? So being able to recognize that people pleasing is the slow suffocation of your soul in exchange for this like temporary approval. It happens in relationships all the time. It happened in my relationship, right? When I was so quiet, I was just like, just love me, right? So, anyways, it happens. I've been married for 21 years this year. But in the beginning, I was suffocating because I was wearing so many masks just to be a good enough wife or mother or, you know, worker or therapist. It's exhausting. No wonder why we feel like we're suffocating. Okay? This is for temporary approval, though. Eventually, the pain of staying hidden becomes greater than the risk of being seen. Thank God that happens, right? So that we can make a choice to do something differently. This chips away at our power until we choose to reclaim our voice, even when it makes other people uncomfortable. Okay? So, what mask are you still wearing for safety? We all do, right? There's so many layers of us. I used to say, I'm an open book, I'm wide open. That's not true. There were still masks. That was likely a little bit of a mask too, right? So, the first step to breaking a pattern is just seeing it, right? And now that we're aware of it, we've claimed it, we've identified it, we've acknowledged it. Taking a deep breath. And what are we ready to release now, right? Let's move it. You don't have to talk your way out of a pattern. Sometimes the shift, the most powerful shift, most of the time anyway, I believe, is not in the mind, it's in the body. Okay? So, few things. Let's do it right here together. Gently placing one hand on your heart. Actually, it's going to be this one for me. One hand on your belly. Okay? The heart is the entryway. We always live our legacy through love. Okay? So that's why the hand on the heart and the hand on the belly is where the belly is like your identity, your willingness, your willfulness, actually. Right? And just take 3 grounding breaths here. recognizing the pattern that you might want to release, maybe even recognizing where that pattern lives in your body. Our body's always speaking to us. Drop from your head into your body. One more deep breath. And now I want us to do a movement together, and it's a gentle, gentle movement. It is going to be just, and you can do this sitting down wherever you are. You put your hands on your thighs, and you move from the heart. You're inhaling, moving your heart forward. Your hips are stable, pelvis is stable, and then roll it back as you exhale. Deep breaths here. In through the nose. You can do out through the mouth or the nose. And just let that pattern roll off your back, roll right down your body and into Mother Earth. Just imagine it being washed away. And then back to neutral. And that is one way that we release. Okay? We did a couple things there, the acknowledgement, the deep breaths in, right? Recognizing where it stays in our body, that perfectionism, the procrastination, right? The people pleasing, a lot of P's here, and allowing it to move. There are really specific movements that we do for specific things. That's all part of somatic healing. And somatics is also breath work and movement. So that is your way. And you can even say, I release. If you know what you're releasing, I release fear, I release judgment, right? I release overthinking. I want you to remember, you are not that pattern. You are the space that holds it. And now you can let it go, right? So now that we've released, let's get into the rewriting. So with this is where we actually choose a new truth. We have released the truth. We're going to insert something else. We choose a new truth. I want you to put in the comments, I choose. You can do the whole thing. I choose a new truth, but just I choose. I choose. So a little bit, like if you are looking at like what you did believe or what that message was that you were carrying, what would you want instead? I now choose to believe, right? And you can even say that. I now choose to believe. And I want you to write this in the comments. I now choose to believe. And then put what you believe. I now choose, and I'll give you a couple examples, right? This was something where, when I was working in treatment centers, I now choose to believe that my voice matters. I now choose to believe that done. This is something that we say over and over and over in my Legacy Builders program, or we're building your holistic business. I now choose to believe that done is better than perfect. I now choose to believe that it's safe to be seen. This is a biggie, ladies, especially for us visionaries, impact creators, right? Fire keepers. I now choose to believe that it's safe to be seen. So what's yours? Drop it in the comments if you feel called to. Speak it softly out loud if you're able to, right? Now I want you to do something else. I invite you to gently bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Roll your shoulders back, shoulder blades coming together. Drop. Lift your heart. Breathe in your new belief. Let that anchor into your body. And you have just started the rewrite. So, congratulations. So, those are the 3 R's to reclaiming your power, right? We are releasing we are aware, like bringing it to awareness, right? What is recognizing it? The 3 R's to reclaim your power, is to recognize, bring it to your awareness. What are you holding on to? What is the belief that you're holding on to release that belief, not just through the mind but through the body. And then the third is to rewrite your story. We all have that ability. I wish I could remember. The rest is still unwritten, right? Where, like, the rest is still unwritten. It's yours to write. Now that we are aware that we have been giving our power over, handing it out willy nilly, we are able to call it back with intention and complete our story with our hand, with our pen. Okay? So let's take one last grounding breath together. Inhaling what's true, exhaling what's old. And you've just walked a sacred cycle. Recognize, release, rewrite. I just want to remind you that you are not your old story. You are actually the author of what comes next. Okay? So we would love to hear your biggest takeaway. Drop it in the comments so that we can totally celebrate your shift. Right? And if you are craving more support like this around clearing old patterns, around reclaiming your truth, rising into aligned leadership, that is the exact work that we do in the Legacy Academy, whether it's through the foundations, the Divine Feminine Empowerment Certification, DFE, to be exact, right? That's what we do. So if you're curious about that, if you're ready for additional support, a powerful supportive group, tight knit, really beautiful connection with other women, and in the process to move you through, then we are here, right? The doors are open when you're ready. We are starting a new cohort for the certification. That is the one that actually has a start date. The doors are not always open for the certification. That's what I'm trying to say. So just so you know, the doors are open. We are going to be starting a new cohort soon, within the next, I want to say, what's June, July. So I would love to have a conversation with you if you are ready to take that to the next level. Certification, again, we'll drop it in the comments. You can look at it. It's all about our own personal healing, while also learning how to hold space for others and guide them through their own process of healing and expanding into their life purpose and into their legacy. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for choosing you. Thank you for choosing your truth. You are doing sacred work, okay? And you are right on time. So until next Thursday, Wednesday, I will see you then. Mwah.